request approval of the tentative agreement with the Pinellas Classroom Teachers Association. I have a motion to approve by Mrs. Meyer and a second by Mrs. Cook. Superintendent Hendrick, would you please introduce the item?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We're very excited tonight to bring this tentative agreement with the Pinellas Classroom Teachers Association. I want to thank members of PCTA and their bargaining team, President Lee Bryant, who's here tonight, as well as members of the district bargaining team. Before I pass it to Mrs. Texel, who will give us all the details of the agreement, I do want to just mention that every year as we set out on this process, we have to work within our state allocation. And this year, our teacher salary allocation increase was 1.41% from the state. And tonight, Mrs. Texel will share the raise of 4.5%, and the only way we get from 1.4 to 4.5 is to become more efficient as a district, to cut, find other places to spend those dollars, and get those out to our employees. So I want to thank Mr. Smith and his team and others across the district who all contribute to this. Nobody really needs a pat on the back, but you do have to understand that the budget that we received from Tallahassee only covered really 1.4% of this, and the district had to find other ways to meet the rest. We would have liked to have gone higher. We want to give every raise possible and maximize those things, but we also have to do so within the fiscal responsibility and possibilities that we have. So Chief of Human Resources Paula Texel will give us each detail of this agreement, and again, we're excited to get these out to our teachers as soon as possible. Ms. Texel?
Absolutely. Good evening, Madam Chair, school board members, Mr. Hendrick, and staff. As everyone has expressed, I'm very excited to be here this evening as we are requesting approval of the tentative agreement with Pinellas County Classroom Teachers Association, or PCTA. I also wanted to echo a thank you to Lee Bryant, our president of PCTA, as well as Lindsay Blankenbaker, the executive director for PCTA, for their work in this process. To provide a summary, we have agreed upon an average salary increase of 4.5% for employees in the PCTA bargaining group. In addition to the increase in referendum dollars, which equated this year to $594 for each instructional staff member, and that payout already began in July, the raises for our teachers range anywhere from $1,931 to $2,060 based on their salary schedule they're on and or their evaluation rating. The teacher starting salary, I also wanted to point out, is now at $52,000, and so we are very proud of that. The board has agreed to pick up 80% of the increase in costs for health care. The employees will be picking up 20% of the increase in health care costs. I also wanted to share that with our health care, there are no plan design changes this year. We felt that was very important for continuity for our employees. We also discussed supplements for our teachers. The district also contributed an additional $337,000, which is 4.5% as well, to increase supplements to teachers who perform duties outside of their work day. For example, athletics, arts, academic activities. Any supplement also that was under $300 was raised to a minimum of $300. So we did have a few supplements out there that were on the lower end, and the committee felt it was important to raise that to $300, and we agreed with that. We also added supplements for various additional sports, such as our middle school cross country. We recognize those teachers taking on that duty need to be supplemented as well. We also have a supplement added for our elementary music teachers who provide additional work beyond their day, as well as 2 flex or optional supplements that the schools will be able to use at their discretion. The school board also covered $9.2 million increase in the required FRS contribution for all employees, as well as the board will cover the fee for all instructional employees to renew their teacher certificate with the Florida DOE. This will be for a 2-year time frame. Anyone who was submitted after June 30th of this year all the way through June 30th of 2025. As mentioned, employees represented by this bargaining group did ratify the tentative agreement last week. It passed with 92% approval, which was higher than last year's 90%, so that was great. All increases, if approved tonight, are retroactive to July 1st, 2023. And I'm so sorry, all of them are retroactive regardless. If approved today, employees will be receiving their raises and retro checks on their November 2nd paycheck. So on behalf of the superintendent's staff, we are recommending that you approve this agreement tonight with PCTA.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Textel. Is there any discussion from board members? Seeing none, we have a motion on the floor to approve item 8.2, the approval of the tentative agreement with the Pinellas Classroom Teachers Association, and we have a second. So all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? There are none opposed. The motion to approve item 8.2 carries unanimously, 6-0. Thank you so much, Ms.
Thank you.
Textel. Thank you.